Alright, let's get cracking. Time to see what's inside. So what we got? 2 wings, servos can go in there, 2 control rods, carbon spar, a couple of front pieces, magnet mounts. That's nice. They're wood, that's obviously what the screws are for, so they are actually removable. And the main fuselage. I assume. There we go, magnets on there as well. I assume these are camera mounts. Looks like they go fitting in there. And the wings obviously, the battery obviously sits in there. Motor mount already in place. I have easy UHF 4-channel, and I have a couple of these are Hobby King metal geared servos, so they're about 10-11 grams. A 30 amp speed controller, and I'm going to be running the RS 2205, and I think it's a 26 kV motor. That's gonna fly. Red bottoms. Alright, XD60, and I've soldered on a little pigtail socket. It's a female JSTH. Anyway, I've soldered one of them on there, so that will feed the FPV. Right, what I've decided to do is I'm going to put the receiver there, and I'm going to use this, and I'm going to set that in there to mount the receiver on. This is a piece of Venetian blind. It's from the Venetian blind from IKEA of all places, and because I had some spares slats, I keep this very thin, but it's quite strong and durable. To be able to fix that in there, I'm going to put 2 little foam pads, and the foam pads will act as a base for this to sit on. I've cut the channel in there, put the Velcro on there, so the receiver's going to go on there. I'm going to set the antenna in there. I wasn't impressed with these, with the plastic ends, so I've opted for my carbon fibre rods and these little aluminium clevises. You can get them from Hobby King. They're really good. And then when I want to set it, then it's just a simple screw there. Put a little bit of glue on the ends to stop them unthreading, so I can set them easy by simply locking in on there. That's a nice set of controls there. So just check that they are free, and I'll do the other side. Lost and found beeper. Just set it in the foam, so it's out the way. You won't even know it's there. You see, I've put a sticky pad, double-sided sticky pad on there. I don't like leaving the sticky pad as the only thing holding that servo in. So what I'm going to do is I got some hot glue, and I will put the hot glue where the tabs go, where the mounting tabs of the servo. So what I found in the past, if you start going mad putting hot glue around there, sometimes it'll distort the plastic and then you get servo failure. So to avoid the casing getting warped with the heat of the glue, just simply use the hot glue in the tabs. Use double-sided sticky pads to stick it down to the base, and it'll be solid. And if you need be, just put a little bead around there. If you ever need to get the servos out, the double-sided pad will give eventually, and it's easy to get the glue out from the top. If you glue it all in, you'll wreck the wing trying to get it out. You may have noticed I've set the center positions with the transmitter. What I've also done is I've set this as the throttle cut and the beeper.
Throttle hold. Throttle release.
I'm going to run with this old camera I've got. It's an old Foxia camera. Some of you may be familiar with it, but I find it quite a bomb-proof camera. That works really well. So FPV camera in the front there, wiring ready to go there. There are marks, I believe they're these two dimples here and there, and conveniently says CG, center of gravity. Hey, check the center of gravity with the battery. It's designed so that if you put a GoPro in the front, this is my ballast weight for a GoPro. If you put the ballast ladder in, then we're starting to talk. It's a little bit nose heavy. Okay, so basically it's all set up. I've configured it with the transmitter, so all the elevons working, everything's working, FPV's working. However, it's nice to have a bit of OSD. So I don't know whether you're familiar with this. This is the Aeromax OSD from Virtual Pilot. It's set up as standalone GPS because there's no flight controller. This is the flight controller. Hey, these self-stabilizing. If you've got the app, there's a GUI app for configuring this, and there's lots of options and setup, so it's quite versatile. However, it looks like the firmware for flashing this, I've discovered that you can download the Minim OSD U-Blocks, because this is configured as a U-Blocks satellite receiver. So you can download the Minim OSD and that will work with this. So it's basically the same architecture, if you like, inside, so it will take that firmware. All you need to do, Minim OSD, U-Blocks, and then you get the standalone GPS. I'm going to get the battery voltage and I'm going to get the camera in and out, so not major connections, and then I'm going to rely on the GPS information. Where am I going to mount it? There, over the camera. Where am I going to mount the circuit board? I've got a little slot in there and a cable tie, but she'll sit inside there, out of the way. I've got an adapter, a lead made up now that will connect from my pigtail, from my battery connection, straight into there, which will then give me two outputs, and this one. What is this? This is actually the supply battery voltage to my OSD. So this will come up on my display what my flight battery voltage is. So one of these will be running my FPV, and the other one will be running my that'll go to a little power bec I've just put in there, and that power bec will run the 5-volt supply for the OSD and the GPS, etc., because it needs 5 volts to run. So I don't use the same 5 volts as my servos because I don't want any voltage drops or any problems. Simple lead. If you can make up your own leads, then that's the way to go. You need to learn how to make the leads up. Simple soldering, a crimper, and you can knock up any leads, servo plugs, power leads, make up your own leads. It saves a lot of money, because to buy multiple leads like this is a couple of quid here, a couple of quid there, but it all adds up. So if you can make your own. So I've got the camera and the GPS mounted on there, on top of the camera, so it's out of the way. I've got the OSD mounted in there. I don't know whether you can see, I put it on a little tray. I got the Easy UHF receiver mounted on a little shelf. That's quite a nice, neat build. I've got the LEDs on the back. What I've done, I've added a little 12-volt power supply, and the little 12-volt power supply is feeding the LEDs, because they're 12-volt LEDs, or 3S if you like, and it's also feeding the FPV. So, and what I've done, I've put a little LC filter in line. That's, I don't know if you can just see it there. What is an LC filter? That basically filters a lot of noise from the motors and speed controller to the FPV system. So it's a little noise filter. And I've got the Lost Model beeper set in there. I'm using the 2600 kV quadcopter motor, because there's a nice little platform there for the Mobius. I prefer to fly with a Mobius than a GoPro. Looking pretty pleased. So you'll notice the antennas. I've spaced the antenna out. I basically bored a hole through the wing. If you go onto Banggood, you can get SMA extension leads. £2, £2.50. So I extended the cable out there off the video transmitter, so I've got the antennas as far apart as I dare. Some people like to get them on the wingtips, but you know. So all built, everything in its place, and centre gravity markers there. There's a 2200 nanotech battery in there, and perfect centre of gravity. All I have to do is maiden it. Ooh. So thank you once again for watching Team Woolly Sheep Reviews. So stay tuned for the Maiden.